Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am your Muse Traci, and I am your favorite manifestation coach. I am here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I offer one-on-one coaching, and I'm now offering group coaching. I'm super excited about it. Can't wait to get started with you guys to help you transform and revolutionize your life in all areas. Since my one-on-one coaching program is full and there is a wait list as well, I have developed a group coaching program to teach you the steps you need to learn everything I'm teaching in my one-on-one program. This will be an 8-week program with a group mastermind community and platform area to share your experiences and wins, as well as live coaching throughout the week with me. This will be part 1 of a 2-part series, and this part I am calling Empowered to Create. It is highly focused on the fundamentals of manifesting and overcoming your limiting beliefs and programming. The programming that I've been talking a lot about on this channel, and basically the key to effortless manifesting. One of the keys. The other one we're talking about in this video, the subject of this video. So we will take a deep dive into your belief system and into your programming and do the work to change the programming so that this will be the last coaching that you need. I don't want you in coaching with me or anyone else forever. That's not what you're meant to be doing either. You're meant to be enjoying your life, going about your life, creating and enjoying and doing whatever you want to be doing, right? So I will be posting and releasing more information about the group coaching. It is going to get started on May 8th. By the end of the 8 weeks, you will understand effortless manifesting, and you will have gone through the process of clearing your blocks, clearing your limitations, shaping up your belief system, your programming, and again, on your way to effortless manifesting, all the tools that you need. Sometimes integration takes a little bit longer, which I want you guys to understand is okay. It takes as long as it takes, okay? If you're interested in learning more, leave me an email or a comment down below, and I will get back to you. All right, you guys. So this video that I'm recording about being the operant power, how to be the operant power of your reality, is from the, what do you call that? The survey that I posted on my channel. And I'm actually super proud of you guys for choosing this one. This was the most, at least the last time I checked before I'm recording this. Who knows what it's at now? But this was the most requested video. So I'm just super proud of you guys because with this, you can manifest anything. Okay, so well done, you guys, for choosing this. And it is a very good thing to discuss and talk about, because as Neville explains, and I try to reiterate on this channel, and I'm going to read actually a quote from Neville's lecture about being the operant power. Knowing is not enough, okay? Maybe you've seen some of my videos, you've seen other videos about how, you're the operant power, you are creating your reality, and maybe you've read some books by Neville or other teachers that are teaching you this, and it really resonates with you, and you sort of innately, inherently resonate with it, and you believe it. Great. Believing it, knowing it is not enough. It's not enough. You have to be it. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. And again, this is the very first thing I teach my clients. And it's something I had to teach myself as well. This isn't really anything that I learned from anyone else per se. What I would notice as I was learning all of this stuff that Neville's teaching is I would, I think I was reading a lot of Neville at the time, and I was learning more and more. And really, I think also part of part of it for me was convincing myself. Like, okay, it sounds really good that I'm the operant power, but I'm going to need some more convincing, because on some level, it sounds a little bit too good to be true, right? So I think reading Neville and also learning from other teachers, I started to believe it more, okay? But even knowing it, believing it, that's still not you being it, okay? And so what I would find is maybe I would read, I would study, I would watch a video, I would do my techniques, whatever I was doing at the time, and then I would leave my apartment, and I literally, the moment my foot was out the door, I had no recollection of any of it. And I would not remember that until I got back home later in the day. And then I would be like, huh, yeah, cool. I know all this stuff, but I just spent the entire day, like there wasn't even a glimpse of remembering. I spent the entire day forgetting, completely unaware from this thing that I know, this thing that is so powerful that I can literally change my life with. But hold on, I'm not actually going to be able to change my life if I keep going through the day, all of my days, forgetting. Like, I kind of realized this. And I also realized, like, yeah, I was having emotions, I was having thoughts. I was basically, the old programming was running because I didn't know how to apply it. I didn't know how to be it. So what I did is I would, and I've talked about this in other videos, so I'm just reiterating this again. I would leave my apartment on a day off, not a day when I had to work. I was working in an office at this time, and I would, on a day off, I would just say, okay, I don't have a lot to do today, so I'm literally going to, I'm going to leave my apartment, but I'm going to leave the apartment with the intention, with the purpose of not forgetting, with bringing this awareness out into the world. I'm going to see if I can go out and interact with the world and be aware of this. Like, really, like baby steps, you guys, like baby steps. This is how I started, okay? Nothing else was on my agenda. I wasn't meeting up with anyone because that'll definitely throw you off. No, I was just literally walking out. I think I went a block away to a store, and my whole goal, my whole intention was to not forget. Okay, so that's how I started. And okay, so then I started bringing it out into the world, and then I started to be able to, like, be more than just aware. I could actually hold certain thoughts. I could acknowledge certain things. Oh yeah, that's me. Okay, yeah, everything is me. Ooh, look at this thing I don't like. Okay, well, that's me somehow, right? So it started like this, very small, very like minute, just trying to go out into the world and remember, okay? Because if you're like me and you know all of this, it's not enough, you guys. It's not enough. And even if you, while you're at home, you know all of this and you do all of your techniques, right? You can spend hours doing techniques, and then, but likely, are you spending like 8 hours? No, you're probably spending like 1 or 2, maybe 3. That's a lot of doing techniques. And then the rest of the day, which is probably like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours, forgetting, old programming running. You're on autopilot, basically. When you don't remember this, you're on autopilot. And if you're on autopilot with your old programming, unless, again, if you've done the work to change your programming, then you can sort of be on autopilot, right? So, but if you are on autopilot and you haven't done the work to change your programming, and just so throughout the day you have just all these limiting beliefs running about who you are, about, how the world works, all the limiting beliefs, then you're going to struggle. That you have to, right? Knowing isn't enough. Knowing isn't enough. It's being it that really allows you to transform and change your reality, to master your reality, to conquer your reality, which really, I could say, conquer yourself. You're really just trying to master yourself, because when you master yourself, outside is a photocopy of you, what you do on the inside, or a mirror reflection of you, what you do on the inside. So when you master you, outside will, be mastered, so to speak. Okay, so I want to read this quote. This is from Neville's lecture about being the operant power. I know it can get a little clunky, and I did actually take out some parts that were just, I felt confusing for this excerpt. So yeah, stick with me. I'm going to explain further after I read this. But this is a quote from Neville's lecture, Being the Operant Power. Okay, so we are the operant power. It doesn't work itself because we know who the Lord is. I have found him to be my imagination, but that's not enough. I must, day after day, examine myself to see if I'm holding to the faith. So do I really believe it to the point of acting upon it? For I am the operant power. It will not operate itself. So I must every day, no matter what happens, remember that I am the one creating. So he goes on to talk about something happening, and then he says, why would this happen to me? Right? People go out into their world, they observe something happening, and then they question, why would this happen to me? As though they are completely apart from the vast world, when they are all individuals. It could happen to everyone in this world. Anything could happen. Okay, only I must not accept it as final. In parentheses here, if it's not what you want, right? I must now turn to the Lord, and the Lord is my own wonderful human imagination, and turning to him, completely abandon myself to the act and cast myself upon divine imagination. Then at that moment, I am freed from the bonds of mortality, or you could say, freed from the bonds of 3D reality, or from your programming, either one. Okay, so quite a lot to unpack you guys with this, but this is exactly how you be it, right? So knowing, as he says in the very first part, isn't enough. So here's an example of it not being enough. Knowing it and then moving out into the world, something happens and you question why it would happen to you. In other words, this is what he's really saying by this question. You view yourself as a victim of the circumstance. Why would this happen to me? What's happening? Things outside of me are being done to me. I'm a victim of this circumstance. I'm a victim of this person's opinion or this person's choice, their choice. I'm a victim to it, as though they're completely separate from you. Okay? So this is an example of you knowing it and not being it. Okay? So let's look at the example of knowing it and being it. You know it. Okay, that part's already taken care of. You're at home, you know it, you read Neville, you watch a video, you get yourself there, you're like, yeah, this is making sense to me. This resonates with my being, right? You don't even really have to try. You just, yeah, this feels like truth, right? And you know how to trust that within yourself, that resonance. Okay, then you go out into the world and something is happening. Some circumstance is happening. And rather than seeing it as separate from yourself, rather than seeing it as happening to you and asking, why would this happen to me? You don't do any of that. You simply look out into the thing. And as he said in the quote here, you don't have to accept that as final. You do not have to be victim of it. And this is key, actually, to not accepting it as final. If you understand that everything in your reality is a result of your consciousness only, period, like end of story, there's no other option. If you know that, then it's not something being done to you. It's something that you previously believed in, dwelled upon, assumed to be true, and voila, here it is in your reality. Okay? Now, like I said when I was reading the quote, you don't have to accept that as final if it is not something that is of your preference. Of course, if it's your preference, by all means, accept it as final. But if you're experiencing something, seeing something, witnessing something, being told something that you don't prefer, you do not have to accept it as final. And you do that by first understanding everything is you. Everything is a projection of your mind, your consciousness, right? It's something that you aligned yourself with. And again, voila, here it is. So when you are experiencing this thing that you do not prefer, step number one, you recognize that's my creation because I already know that's all that's ever going on here. Then you don't have to accept that as final. Brilliant, you guys. This is what I love about Neville. This is such a simple sentence, but do you understand how powerful it is? Because I think this is the mistake that I used to make as well, and I think a lot of you struggle with this. I see my clients struggling with this. Again, I struggled with this, and I'm guessing from some of the questions that are put on the videos, you guys struggle with this as well. It's the thing that we refer to as reacting. Why would you be reacting? Because you think this thing you do not prefer is final, is real, is like a thing. It's not a thing. It's a projection of your mind, period. That's it. You don't have to accept it as final. I would say you don't have to take it serious, but I understand some things feel serious. So the best way to say it, because then we're not judging, this is serious, this is not serious, is you don't have to accept it as final. Not ever. Not ever, not ever, not ever. And this is what I was talking about in my video about how to conquer your 3D reality, which was really all about reacting. The way you conquer your 3D reality, the way you be it, you be the operant power, which those are one and the same, really, right? Is you in your 3D reality, you never have to accept anything as real and final. Now, without the first bit of knowing who you are, right? Again, knowing law of assumption, reading Neville, or reading the Bible if you interpret it the correct way. You understand that you're the one creating. With that understanding, then when you go and you experience things that you don't prefer, you don't have to accept them as final. You understand everything is available to you. And all this is showing you is you have previously dwelled upon this thing. Now, I want to talk about this a little bit further because sometimes, and again, I see this with my clients a lot, they've trained themselves to say, oh yeah, everything is me. It's sort of like something that they've trained to think, oh yeah, it's me. But they don't really drop into it. They don't really accept it on a deeper level. And so they still end up reacting to their 3D circumstances. They still end up giving their power away. They still kind of, even though they're saying everything is me, they still accidentally, by mistake, think that their circumstances are more real. They still think that out there is what's real and solid, and in here, the imagination is just a wish or a hope or a dream or a maybe. So that will complicate things. And so this is part of the being it. You have to train yourself to remember and remind yourself that your consciousness is the real reality. Everything outside of you was first in your consciousness, held in your consciousness, held in your mind, either consciously or unconsciously, okay? And so even sometimes when we look out into the circumstances and we know clearly, yes, I assumed that was going to happen. I had fears about this. I had expectations about this. I had, right? Even when we know that intellectually, we still have a hard time not taking it as final because we're not remembering the other part, in that nothing else is going on. Literally nothing else is going on. Your consciousness, your assumptions, they get projected out, or you align yourself, you shift yourself into the parallel reality where now that thing is visible to you. I actually like saying it that way better. There's like 7 different ways that you can say these things. I like that one where you shift yourself, because it's a reminder, you guys, you're not ever creating anything. The good, the bad, the indifferent, you're not creating anything. Creation is finished. It's all already created. All you're doing ever is changing your consciousness, changing your assumptions, changing your focus, your beliefs, your internal space, so that you align with, hopefully, what you prefer to experience. But again, sometimes we're doing this and it's unconscious still, right? But you're not changing out there. You're not creating out there. You're just changing your internal space. And when you change your internal space, consciously or unconsciously, that's what shows up in your external reality. It becomes visible to you once you dwell on it enough, for long enough. There it is. Wow, here's the result of your persistence, your consciousness. You dwelled upon this thing, you see, because there's no judgment. There's no judgment in, how you can align yourself with something. It's not what you want. It's not getting what you want. It's getting what you focus on. It's getting what you bring your attention back to again and again and again and again. And a lot of times, before you know about this ability that you have, before you know you're doing it, and you have the programming of fear, insecurity, doubt, worry. I have to prepare myself for the worst. I have to be ready for the worst. Well, guess what? You are getting ready for the worst, and you're the operant power. So what do you think is showing up? Not because, this is what's available to you, but this is what you dwelled upon because of your programming, because of your lack of self-esteem, the incorrect thoughts about yourself, your worthiness, your desirability, your ability to be chosen. All of it is programming, you guys. And again, this is what I was talking about several videos back with effortless manifesting and sheer will manifesting, right? So you can keep all of your yucky programming, for lack of a better word. You can keep your lies about yourself, right? That's what the yucky programming is. It's really lies. None of that is true. You can keep all of that, and you can manifest what you want. Yes, you can, and I've done that. You can sheer will it. You can use your determination and your willpower and your inner strength. Yes, you can do that. But, and this is a big but, when you get there and you get your manifestation, if the programming, the yucky programming, is still there about you, you're not going to, 1, most likely keep your manifestation, and 2, you're not going to enjoy it because you're still not going to feel good enough. You're not going to feel worthy enough. You're not going to feel chosen enough. And your programming is going to keep throwing out the thoughts based on your programming. And again, you can keep on with sheer will. You can keep battling the programming, but why? Let's just take a pause, hit the pause button, do the work to change the programming, and then go forward into everything you want effortlessly. And some of my clients are, a couple months in now to the one-on-one coaching, and they are saying things to me like, wow, it really can be this easy. Wow, my mind is finally like calm and at peace, and I don't have this negative story running in the background 24/7. And I cannot tell you how happy that makes me. I cannot tell you the joy that I have inside from hearing them say that. So this is what it's about, you guys. You're all master manifestors. You're all brilliant at creating. All of that is true. And, you know, you can create anything right now. Change your programming. Don't change your programming. You can create whatever you want. But you're meant to enjoy what you create. And you're meant to keep it. And you're meant to expand on that and go more and more and more and more and more. And that's one of my favorite things to talk about too, which is like, why do we have these desires that are, you know, not supported by our current belief system? Our current belief system seems more limited than where our desires are. Why? Well, it makes perfect sense to me. It's for the purpose of evolution, the purpose of growth, the purpose of expansion, right? So it makes perfect sense. Let's not skip over, you know, the expansion of your own belief system. Let's not skip over, you know, your own evolution, your own growth, and just get the thing. Let's not do that. Let's do the work to create the expansion, to create, you can call it healing if you want, not my favorite word, but you can call it healing, growth, expansion, whatever you want to call it. Let's do that, because that's the purpose of your desire anyway. And that's why your desires are bigger than your current belief system. Usually it's brilliant. It's a brilliant design. It's not the opposite. It's not for suffering, you guys. It's not for suffering. You don't have desires bigger than what you believe for the purpose of suffering. You are not here to suffer. You're here to expand and realize your big desires, your amazing desires, this brilliant desire that you have, whatever it is. I don't even care what it is. You have a desire for it, it's meant for you. Okay, and everybody's a little bit different in what they desire. Sometimes it's a house, a boat, a car, a relationship, an amount of money, a job, whatever, physical appearance, whatever it is, whatever floats your boat. That's what you're meant to have. That's what you're meant to experience. And that is meant for you. There's no judgment. I'm not judging. Why would you judge? You don't need to judge your own desires either. Okay, we're going off on a tangent. Back to the subject at hand. The subject at hand is being the operant power. This is all about you seeing yourself as the operant power and knowing that both as you encounter circumstances and as you encounter your old beliefs. Throughout the day, your old beliefs, your old programming may come up, may show itself to you. And even, you guys, I have to put this in here, your old beliefs about something outside of me is creating. There's fate, there's God's will, there's something else meant for me. That's programming. Okay, so if this resonates with you, that you are the operant power, you're the one creating, that's part of the programming that has to change. So you do the work to change that as well. All right, you guys, I am going to end the video here because there's a message popping up that I have no connection. So I have no idea if this is still recording. I hope that it is, but I think this is also long enough already. All right, you guys, so this is how you be the operant power. Knowing is not enough. Knowing is not enough. It doesn't work itself. You have to be it. So you have to not accept the unwanted things as final. All right, you guys, leave me a comment down below and I will see you in the next one. Bye.